Okay, I want to try and read all the poems I like to read tonight at Wedgwood. I will read them now, and this will time them. And if I go over 5 minutes, then I'll cut some things out. So, first, a few American sentences from the recent past. I haven't typed them up yet. Right on Door County's backyard, like the Tarot Tower with grasshoppers. September 26th. I'm not trying to communicate, I'm trying to transmit. September 30th. Home at last, back in the land of buy weed online billboards. October 8th. Ate so many tater tots last night, my insides call me a tot head. Now a piece written at the Cascadia Poetry Festival in Todd Marshall's workshop in 2017. Is about place. What is community? What is place? The spring, just before the 13 switchbacks that provide most of the elevation gain on the trail to Appleton Pass, is the last chance for water, unless you call Oyster Pond potable. And it is early in the season, says the ranger who issues our backcountry permit 22 years later. At the pass itself, where once bearded me was pictured at 5,000 feet and higher on a bluff overlooks the path we just hiked through and saw bears, well, blow the whistle. No, you blow the whistle, and mercifully, no goats seeking our salt. And day 3, once there, my Denny's fed, meat-eating white guy friends from Chicago just wanted a rock on which to sit and toke. But I climbed higher with my copy of 3 poems and see the words capitalized down the center of the page. More alive than I ought to be. And this by now is much of my own essence as the author's, and the lines that followed aid seductions and have themselves the smell of an ancient hemlock, cedar, pine forest, reality as it ought to be, air as it ought to be, windows into the association chain of a poet whose own work exuded a hunger for liberation. Liberation is easier in the ancient woods, where the tweets are reserved to actual birds and no one is idling their engine looking at Facebook or NFL scores. And you think about lunch, and your own innate divinity has a clearer channel to the part of you that does not rot, and maybe back then a fire, and always a thought about the next meal. On a rock in Sheffel Creek, waiting for a military helicopter, doing laundry to prepare for the expected media inquiry, it was polenta with purple cabbage and butter, cooked with creek water that may not have required a filter, and the sergeant brought Evian. And the last poem is by Mary Norbert Korte, a former Catholic nun who wrote to me and sent me a bunch of new poems. Will be coming to our Cascadia Poetry Festival on San Juan Island May 1st through the 3rd next year. She said, your letter was very kind. I've never been good at the hustle, and I had to get a day job to keep the land. Looking back on those years, the choice seems simple now and easy. But I still view life as lurching from crisis to crisis. Oh well, as always, G. Stein said it, we feel the same inside all our lives. Laudis et penatis. Buddha bear, the angel, the cat. These 3 watch under their benevolent gaze. Scorpions become docile. Mice stay outside. Spiders calmly take care of flies. Children cease squabbling. Men pick up after themselves. One must pay attention over long little years to the long line of little gods, ancestors in portraits, lithographs, shelved statues. They made us. They live with us. We are their children. We are their children.